a new one. Uh,
Sorry.
We'll have introduction of the guests and first-time attendees. That would be Deborah. You want to introduce yourself, please?
Deb, your mic's not working.
Mine's not working. I don't have Deborah on.
Oh.
Is it working now?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, sorry, computer issues. So good morning, my name is Deb Syrick. I'm with the Aging and Disability Division at Catholic Charities, Diocese of Joliet. This morning, I have several of my coworkers, and we would like to share with you several new programs for the older adults with our Aging and Disability Department in Will County. So first to speak will be Danielle Gritzenbach, and she will lead us off, and then we will all follow suit.
Hi, everybody. My name is Danielle Gritzenbach. I'm the supervisor for the Aging and Disability Resource Network program. We recently took over this program just in October, so we're still learning the kinks and kind of getting started. So just keep in mind, if you guys have any resources or services that you would like to provide to us, please let us know, because then we could guide our clients the best way possible. As Deb said, I'm just going to go through some of our services today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We have a PowerPoint set up for you guys. Can everyone see that?
No.
No.
No? Okay, hold on.
Excuse, Deb, no.
There we go. I got
Do
it.
this.
Hold on.
Hello. Hi, Danielle. This is Denise. I'm the secretary. Before we do this,
Yes.
can we go through and finish all the introduction
Yeah,
of each
of course.
of our guests and new attendees?
Yep.
Thank
Would you like me to stop sharing my screen for right now?
If you could, please.
Yep. After me, the next one would be Darcy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Darcy White. I'm with the Ombudsman Program with Catholic Charities.
And Bri Williams.
Yes, I'm Bri Williams. I'm the manager of the Senior Companion Program in Will County as well.
And Kathy. You're on mute.
Hi, I'm Kathy Schweikart. I'm the money management coordinator for Catholic Charities for Will County.
All right, Danielle, back to you.
Thank you.
Actually, before we go back to Danielle, can we go through, do we have any other guests or first time attendees? We need to accomplish this for our minutes and for our policy and procedures. So who are any other guests or first time attendees? Please identify yourself.
Morning, everybody. This is State Rep Natalie Manley. Great to start the day with you. I'm just here as a guest. So been with you before. Thanks for letting me join.
Hi, Natalie. Good morning. Go ahead. Anyone else?
Good
morning. This is Robert Gilbert, Chief of Staff for State Representative Natalie Manley, also present as a guest.
Hi, I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name. Can you say it again, please?
Robert Gilbert, Chief of Staff for State Representative Natalie Manley, just here as a guest as well.
Robert, what was your last name?
Correct. Gilbert.
Gilbert. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
If I have to get up this early, so does he. That's my rule.
I completely
kind of-
agree and understand.
Rob, you're kind of muffled, so just so you know, okay?
Apologies.
I'm Steve Daly with American Legion Post 52. Just as a guest.
Okay, great. Hi, Steve. Anyone else? Who else do we have on? We've got a whole bunch of people. I need everybody to sound off.
Hey, Denise, it's William here.
Good morning, William.
Good
Now
morning.
you're here as part of AL 13?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next,
Gary Ann Weisbrook.
good morning, Gary Ann.
Good morning, Denise.
And you are with Military Mama Network today?
Today I'm actually with HG, my consulting company, giving you a report.
All right. And who else do we have?
I think we're getting everybody here.
No, who, Julie Sander.
I'm the intern at the VAC.
Okay, and I'm running through the lists here. Whose phone is 212?
That's Joe Martin, peer support specialist, VAC.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm Joe Martin, peer support specialist at the VAC. Thank you.
And we have Chris. Chris
Yes.
Wise. Brandy. All right. Anyone else?
Gotta be close to having everybody covered right now.
Okay. All right, Mr. President, I do believe I've got everybody recorded that is present,
Okay,
except 725-2741. Who is that?
there's a phone on here. I don't see that one.
That's my office, Denise. That's
Oh.
Rob. I think he's gonna drop off. I told him I got this. He's having a hard time with his connection.
Okay.
All right,
All right, I do believe we have everyone. Thank you.
okay. We'll return to our guest speaker then.
Okay, all right, I'll go ahead and get started. Okay, can everyone see that now?
Yes.
Okay, so like Deb was saying, we're Catholic Charities, we're Aging and Disability. And my department specifically is called Aging and Disability Resource Network. We go by ADRN. And in ADRN, we assist individuals who are over the age of 60. We help those with information and assistance and outreach. And we also help those who are over the age of 60 and or 18 to 59 with a disability with options counseling and flexible community services, which is also our FCS funding. For information and assistance, I like to explain this as our stepping stone. It's a service that we provide to individuals 60 and older. It provides individuals with current information on opportunities and services. This is where anybody would call in with an initial concern or question. We could receive calls from the participant, a spouse, a family member, a friend, a caregiver, or a community source, meaning a social worker at the hospital or a home health agency. We connect individuals with local services and resources. So we help with in-home services. We could set them up with home delivered meals, provide transportation resources, and also guide them to the appropriate department for any caregiver resources and support. Based on these initial calls, we just try to make the best referral possible and guide them to the appropriate department. The next is outreach. With COVID, this has been a little bit different. Usually we're able to go into the high rises and, just speak to people who don't know about our services. That's the main goal, is to have a one-on-one contact with somebody who is not aware of what we're there for, what we could help with. We also could do an uninitiated home visit. So like I said, outreach is a little bit different due to COVID, but we do try our best to still get our numbers, just to get people into our caseload, just so that they're serviced properly. The next thing is options counseling. The way I like to explain this is it's between the INA and case management. So basically it's somebody that is coming in just looking for help making decisions about long-term services. We provide them with information, advice, and options available. Some examples that we do options counseling for is, say somebody calls in and they need help paying for prescriptions. We might refer them to applying or getting them into the Department for SHIP and SHAP, which is helping with Medicare. I'll explain that more later. But we also might want to get them on Medicaid to help pay for those expenses. So that is just an example of options counseling. Basically, we like to guide them and give them the resources that are available so that, down the road, they're able to go out on their own and build a foundation. The FCS funding. So this is the funding that we receive from our agency called Age Guide. It's funding for those who have lost continued health and safety without personal or community resources to secure needed assistance. Individuals may be frail with health, psychological, social, economic, and environmental issues. This is one of the ones where we could help 60 and older, but also 18 to 59 with disability. They must be receiving disability benefits. Some things that we help with are rental assistance, utility bills, eyeglasses, medications, food, clothing, and other goods. Other programs that we do have available in Will County that I just want to touch base on, the community-based programs. So these are just classes that are offered by my coworker, Kelly Coy. She is the new manager. She administers these classes. I attached a flyer that has our current winter classes. So there's bingo size, matter of balance, wits workout, tai chi, stress busting for caregivers, and recreation and crafting. These classes are, some are offered virtual, some are in person still, but it just gives the clients the ability to be out of isolation, work on, matter of balance. The bingo size is exercise while playing bingo. So it's a very good service to have, just to keep people, interactive with other adults, and kind of just get them out of that isolation period. If you know anyone interested, Kelly asked me to just provide her information. So if you have anyone interested, please reach out to her or reach out to me and I could guide you to her. We have a telephone reassurance program. This program is really great now during the pandemic. It's basically what it is. It's a volunteer program that allows volunteers to call in to senior adults and just reassure them. They could, remind them to eat a meal. They could remind them to take their medications. They could listen about their day. They could just listen to them rant, just have somebody to talk to. It increases socialization. It decreases isolation. It's a peace of mind that someone is checking in on them. And then this is the SHIP and SHAP program. So SHIP is Senior Health Insurance Program and SHAP is the Senior Health Assistance Program. These are information and assistance about Medicare and other benefits. So these certified SHIP counselors are able to assist with applying for Part D, applying for supplements, or just guiding them and giving information about Medicare, because that does get a little bit confusing and it is overwhelming as soon as you turn 65. Some of the things that they could help is applying for extra help or applying for QMB, which helps with Medicare costs and assists with monthly premiums. They also do the benefit access program, which is the license plate discount. So overall, that is basically the services in ADRN and extra services that we are going to be offering or are offering in Will County. The next person to speak right now is Darcy, who is going to talk about the Ombudsman program.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Darcy White. I work with the Ombudsman.
Hi, can I interrupt? Danielle, will we get a copy of all of this information you've shared with us today?
Yes, I could send over the PowerPoint. I'll have it to Deb because I think she has the contact.
Awesome.
But I'm sure we could send the PowerPoint to you.
Yeah, for everyone's, because this is some really great information I want to share, and having it directly from you would be really useful.
Absolutely, no problem.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome, Janet. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Darcy White. I work with the Long-Term Care Ombudsman program with Catholic Charities. And I know ombudsman is a big funny word, but it basically means advocate in Swedish. But we are resident-directed resident advocates for residents who live in long-term care facilities. So local nursing homes, skilled facilities. We go into memory care facilities. We go into assisted living, supportive living. We have a couple ICFDD homes. And I know down in Kankakee County, so we're in Will Gurney and Kankakee County. In Kankakee, I know we have a veterans home in Manteno that we go into. So Ombudsman, we are confidential. So we're kind of case managers. We talk to residents who live in long-term care and we protect residents' rights. We make sure that the facility is not infringing on any of their, their personal choices. If they want to, see their own doctor, not the facility doctor, those are kind of things that we help with. And we also just resolve general complaints in the facility. We can have complaints that deal with cold food, they missed a shower, and then we can also deal with a lot more difficult cases, such as abuse and neglect, financial exploitation, as well as involuntary discharge when residents are getting kicked out of the facilities. We are not attorneys. I have no medical background, no attorney background, but basically what we need to do, we need to know and understand IDPH, HFS, CMS regulations and guidelines, especially now with COVID. I know a couple weeks ago, CMS and IDPH are now allowing visitation for every single resident in every single nursing home, which is huge because for the past 2 years, there was a lot of stipulations as to who could come in and see their loved one. So now we're very happy that that's available. So like I said earlier, we do have 84 facilities. We're in Will Gurney and Kankakee County. In Will County, we have 47. And we basically make unannounced, unimpeded visits to the facility. We go pretty much once every 3 months we have to go, and as often as needed. So I've been to facilities either once every 3 months for very slow facilities that don't really need any of my assistance. And then I've been to facilities 2 and 3 times a week where there's a lot more concerns and problems. So I wanted to come on here just because we're always looking for volunteers and I'm always looking for some community resources for my residents. We have, like I said, we have 84 facilities. So we could have up to, I think 6,000 residents because there's 6,000 beds in these 84 facilities. And a lot of them are, every single person is different. Every single case is different. So I want to gather all these community resources that I can use and pass along to my team so that we can go ahead and share those with those residents. And that's all I have. So I'm going to pass it on to Deb Syrick, who's the manager of the foster grandparent program.
No, because they did.
Okay, good morning again. I am the program manager with the foster grandparents, and I just wanted to mention these last 4 programs we're speaking about, including Ombudsman, foster grandparents, senior companion, and money management, are all looking for volunteers. So the foster grandparent program and the senior companion program are funded through AmeriCorps Seniors. Both of these programs exist at Catholic Charities and have been there since the 80s. The foster grandparent senior companion programs were designed to engage the older adult into the community and avoid social isolation. Specifically, the foster grandparents go into the classrooms in the schools throughout Will County. We are, right now, we're in the Joliet School District, Valley View School District. We're in several Catholic schools. We're in all of our Head Start sites for Catholic Charities. We also work with the Joliet Park District after school program. We work with the YMCA in the summertime. So we keep the volunteers serving throughout the whole year. The criteria to join the programs, they must be aged 55 and older. And we want to give them a stipend, so we require that their income eligibility is either at or below the 200% of the poverty level. And we also want the volunteers who love to work with children in the foster grandparent program. Basically, our volunteers tutor and mentor. They help with children who are having difficulty in the classroom, more so the children falling through the cracks, not so much special ed as much as it's the children that just need that extra bit of attention in the classroom that the teacher may not be able to give. So the perks for the program are, like I had mentioned before, we have a small tax-free stipend that does not count as income. We also offer a PTO accrual. We reimburse for meals and mileage. We provide events twice a year for recognition for the volunteers. It's also a social gathering. Once a month we meet at the Blanchard Catholic Center, and we just, continue training and then socialization. So that being said, we are desperately looking for volunteers once again. If you know of anybody or yourself would like to be part of our program, please reach out. And now I'm going to bring on Bri Williams, who will talk to you about the Senior Companion Program.
Okay, Deb, I have a real quick question for you. You mentioned the criteria to join included the income eligibility. If they didn't meet that and were happy to waive the stipend or whatever the other financial perks were, could you still consider people?
So our program it depends on providing that stipend to volunteers, but we do have a waiting list for non-stipend volunteers, so we can take a certain amount.
Oh, good.
So, we just reach out to us and we can discuss it more.
Okay.
But yeah, I know that's kind of a fallback. I wish, they're possibly in the works of making that number go up a little bit. But yeah, right now that's where it stands.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
One more interruption before you brief. Danielle, you were made the host, so you could share the screen and go through the slides. I believe there's 2 people waiting to be admitted. Can you admit them? All right. Thank you. Carry on.
Okay, so I am Bri Williams. I am the manager of the Senior Companion Program, and I cover Kankakee, Will, Grundy, and Iroquois counties. We have 2 coordinators, one for Kankakee and Iroquois and the other for Will and Grundy. So much like foster grandparent, we are very similar programs, except my program works with seniors. So we have volunteers who are age 55 and older who are interested in visiting with seniors. We also provide a tax-free stipend. The point of the program is to prevent isolation in seniors. So we want want companions who are 55 and older who are interested in just providing socialization, providing transportation, potential respite for family members, occasional doctor's visits, something like that. It all depends on the senior's needs. We have some companions who go and play games with their clients. They'll assist them with light meal preparation, but it's mostly just to provide socialization, to keep their mind going, to keep them active. And so again, we want to incentivize this program, and we want to make it a perk for low income individuals. So if you know anybody who is lower income and would benefit from a tax-free stipend, they can kind of gauge how much they do. So the more money they want to make tax-free, the more volunteering they can do to gain, that stipend, that mileage, that meal. So like Deb said, we do have 13 paid holidays. We have PTO accrual, and we do the monthly trainings as well, which does just provide community and stuff like that for that group of volunteers. I have enjoyed so much just being at those meetings every month to hear everybody catch up and, see how they're doing. And it's just a good place for community as well. So if you know anyone interested in either receiving a senior companion or becoming a senior companion, you can always reach out to me. And I would be happy to talk more about that as well. And now I'm going to pass it over to Kathy.
Hello, I'm Kathy Schweikart. I'm the Money Management Coordinator for Catholic Charities serving Will and Grundy County. Catholic Charities provides basic assistance for money management clients in Will County. Our money management program helps low-income seniors who are 60 and older, as well as those with disabilities who need help managing their household budget, paying routine bills, keeping track of financial matters. This particular program is sponsored by the Illinois Department on Aging, and its purpose is to prolong and promote independence for eligible individuals who are at risk of losing that independence because they experience difficulty managing their finances. Our money management program matches screened and trained volunteers with older adults who need help doing tasks like organizing their bills, reviewing and paying bills, setting up a personal budget, writing checks, balancing a checkbook, intervening with creditors, setting up a payment plan, help researching a big purchase. Our clients live independently in the community and they either participate in a community care program or have been referred by Adult Protective Services. We also have a limited availability for private pay service adults. You might ask, what does a money management client look like? That might be a person who has lost their sight or has other physical or mental disabilities that infringe on how they pay their bills. And their bills are piling up. Their daily mail is not being opened. Perhaps they're unable to read or write well. Maybe they're nervous or overwhelmed by their financial situation, or perhaps they just lost a loved one who handled all the bills. Maybe they were financially exploited or have a serious illness or going to be evicted. So those are some of the things that our clients, that's how they might look like. What do we look for in a volunteer? A volunteer for money management program, often the primary volunteering role we have is the volunteer bill payer. They're organized, they feel like they're good with numbers, they're detail oriented, they enjoy working with seniors. They want to assist someone and help them and give back to someone who needs their assistance in the community. And they're also a good communicator. So we are actively seeking both volunteers and clients for the money management program in Will County right now. So I hope this, if you have any other questions, feel free to give me a call or an email. I don't believe there's anyone after me. I'm the last person. So if there's any questions.
Yes, this is Denise, Secretary. Deb, if you could send a copy of the PowerPoint so that I can attach it to the minutes, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. I will do that as soon as we're off the meeting. I will send that out, and it will have Danny's information for contact. If anybody is interested in any of the other programs, I'll send a separate sheet too with all of our contact information. In the last meeting, Danny was taking all of the calls, but I'll just send out a separate sheet with everyone's contact info.
Thank you so much. That was outstanding information.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good presentation.
For Kathleen.
Question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, you I would assume the vast majority of your clients are homebound or live at home. Do you have anybody that are like in independent facilities or anything like that?
Yes, our clients do live in the community, so they're not in assisted living or a nursing home, long-term care. However, if they live in a senior building, they would be eligible because it would be their own place, if that makes sense.
Okay, because I live in independent senior living, so I was just wondering about that. Not that I need a service, but just as information or referral, whatever. Okay. Sure.
Yes, I know we jammed a lot of information into a short period, 7 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, I think people will have questions. We can't do everything online right now, but contact these individuals and they will send you all the information you need. I mean, it's a great start to get the general idea out there, what they are doing. I'm sure we got a lot of questions. We can't cover it all at our meeting here right now, but just recommend that each of you get a hold of these individuals with the information you need. Any more questions or comments before we move on? Okay, thank all you ladies for all your information and for showing up this early in the morning. We'll get back to
Thank
our
you all.
regular
And-
agenda then would be. the
Um,
minutes. Yep,
Mr. President, before we move on, 2 new people had jumped on and I need them to identify themselves, please. I believe we've got Lisa. Hi, Lisa. And who else came on? Eric?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Sorry, I had to find my mute button.
okay, we should have everybody covered then. Then back to the minutes of the previous meeting. Everybody received a few copies of them? We had 2. We had the December 14th meeting and then the special meeting. And the first one is December 14th meeting. Any comments or corrections? If not, I guess we need a voice vote to accept it.
Oh, Mr. President, we need a roll call vote.
Yeah, roll call, not voice, sorry, roll call.
Yes,
We
one
need a
moment.
motion.
First, we need a motion.
I'll make that motion, President.
All right, that's Blue making the motion. And do we have a second that spoke up? I didn't hear.
Janet made the motion. We have a
Nicholas will second.
Nicholas, second. Roll call vote, please.
Nicholas Berry,
Yay.
Amanda Cote,
Yes.
Tim Singler, Tom Milnick,
Aye.
Janet Blue,
Yes.
Steve Beneke,
Yes.
and Denise Williams. Aye. Motion carries.
Motion carried, thank you. Need a motion for the second special meeting. Motion to accept, please.
Nicholas will motion.
Nick Berry, motion, second, please.
Beneke, second.
Beneke, second. Roll call vote, please.
Nicholas Berry,
Yes.
Amanda Coke,
Yes.
Tom Milnick,
Aye.
Janet Blue,
Yes.
Steve Beneke,
Yes.
Denise Williams. Aye. Motion carries.
Motion carried. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report.
Great, that's me. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for logging on again so early. In your board packet sent to you a few times, I shared with you our award log screen. Did everybody get a chance to take a look at that? If not, I can put it up. Yes?
Yes.
No.
One of the things I shared with you our graph, our line graph that was put into our governor's report this year. I shared with you two purposes. Number one, it shows you where we start out at the beginning of every year. So you'll see the blue line is way at the bottom of the screen. But then throughout the years past, it slowly elevates. So through our meetings, my plan is the meetings through the rest of this year, I'm going to share with you that line graph and that one sheeter of the award log report so you can see the progress we're making throughout the year. The next on the superintendent's report is the Project 150 report. I also shared with everybody our ESG balance. Jen is tracking all that grant right now. We currently have, as of end of last week, we have $75,000 left to spend on emergency shelter, which sounds like a lot of money, but we are currently averaging $30,000 a month at the hotel. So that's about 2.5 months that are left for emergency shelter for veterans through our ESG grant. Jen, do you want to add anything?
Hi, yes. So it looks like, as everybody can see, January 1st was our most expensive invoice that we've had so far. And from my understanding, Christy can speak better to this. We had some people come in over the holidays, but Christy, didn't you say 3 people were housed just yesterday? So we should start to see those numbers go down, as you can see on January 6th. In the month of December, I just set it up. We actually spent about $21,200. It does fluctuate, obviously situational dependent. So like Christy said, though, I keep, whispering in her ear, we're going to run out of money soon. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. Also, since the money was transferred to us, the invoices have been significantly easier to process real time. So we have a real time idea of how much money is left, as opposed to before we had to pay it and then ask for reimbursement. This way it's much easier to keep track. So that is real-time number as of today.
Our average length of stay in the hotel currently under the ESG grant is 46.5 days per client, which, was a month and a half, but that is about 14 times higher than.
Excuse me,
the
I'm
average.
sorry. Christy,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Natalie, Representative Manley, just sent out a note that here saying that she's going to have to jump off soon. Can we see, is there anything that you needed to share with us, or you had to share with us, Manley, Representative Manley, so we can get that in before you have to jump?
So sorry to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I'm here for you. And if there's anything, sessions was canceled this week. So, and committees were canceled. I'm not sure what's going on. It kind of scares me that there's a lot of sick people out there, but, if there is anything, I will be back with you. If you don't mind, I'd like to be able to join if you don't, and then that way, if there's something you need me to know, I can get that from you at that time. I'll be with you when I can, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Rep Manley, while you're in session coming up soon, could you let us know if there's any more rumblings about funding, emergency shelter funding or housing funding due to COVID or not due to COVID?
I know they were talking about that ARPA money over the last couple of days. So you want to know for emergency housing and shelter for veterans?
Well, in general. So like our ESG grant that we're talking about right now is not veteran specific.
Okay.
It was community and we applied for it.
Thank you for putting that on my radar. I'll let you know.
And I know the ARPA funding is out there and we have requests into the county and the city for some ARPA dollars. But if there's any other funding coming from state, that would be good to know.
I will look into it.
Thank you, ma'am.
current 150, when is the cutoff date on that, or how long is it still available?
So for the shelter dollars, it's available till we run out. ESG federal monies, it's ESG coronavirus money. The initial stop date was September of 2022, but then they extended the deadline to go through till, I believe it was January of 23. With the current influx of homeless veterans, we had 2 referrals last night at about 4 o'clock of homeless veterans that were on the streets. Both came from the VA. We will run out of funding before January. I mean, we'll run out of funding if we stay on this current path in beginning of March.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Christy, so how do we resolve it? Then obviously we can't stop helping the homeless. How do we resolve that? How do we get more?
So we're discussing internally in the office where we could go after some additional grant funding. And that's a little bit later down on the agenda and under new business. But we've also been working with the land use department. Sandy Metros is the grant manager for ESG in the county, and seeing if there's any other ESG funded partners that are not utilizing all of their dollars, because the HUD who manage it, where the money comes from, you have to meet certain metrics throughout the grant cycle. So if there's people that are way behind on their metrics, they're reallocating funds and moving it around. One of the things they did this year was for cold shelter. They took a pot of ESG money from one partner and then funded a cold shelter site because, you know, emergency shelters capacity is, you know, cut in half, and there needs to be places for people to go so they don't freeze to death. So we're working. It's a lot of moving pieces, but
thank you.
No problem. So like I was saying, our average length of stay in the hotel right now under ESG CV is 46.5 days, which is really good. You guys have any other questions on that?
Nope. No questions or comments. I guess we have to motion to approve with the roll call vote.
I'll make that motion, Mr. President.
Janet motion, second, Tom. Roll call vote, please.
Catching up, one moment.
All right.
I'm fast, guys, but I'm not that fast. All right. Barry,
Yes.
Hoke, Amanda, are you there?
She's muted.
Put a thumb up. Milnick,
Aye.
Lou,
Yes.
Beneke,
Yes.
Williams. Motion carries.
Carries, thank you. We'll now go to our next agenda item as new business.
So the next item on your agenda is the HG marketing campaign that we received from the CARES funding that the county received due to COVID. The HG CEO director is going to share the summary. So you guys can see not the whole packet. She's just going to go over the summary, and I just gave Jerry Ann host so she can share her screen.
Awesome. Thank you. Let me get this going for just a second. Okay. Should be seeing the cover slide now. So this was a two-phase project that we worked on. One was kind of an emergency phase when we were all like, what is COVID? And Christy and I discussed Because of my long-term work with veterans and also my expertise in social media marketing and communications, could I jump on and help you guys? And I said, absolutely. And here is what I did, phase one. So phase one, it was really about updating your page and keeping a daily report. Remember when the governor was doing daily reports and there was all this other stuff kind of being thrown like spaghetti on a wall, kind of containing it, organizing it, and presenting it in a way that was less overwhelming to your audience, especially because, as you'll see later on, your audience is sort of middle-aged people, which makes sense, but it's really hard to navigate a lot of information. And so we tried to organize it and keep it going in an ongoing manner. One of the things that we did was create what was called notes, which would be comparable to like a blog post. Facebook did away with them. We moved the information as best we could with the little bit of notification we got. And we really shifted to just doing like a daily update of graphics. You might remember the blue ones that were like state resources, national resources, local resources, updated information. We wanted to create some strategic content that was immediately identifiable as this is VAC information, this is pertinent, timely, and accurate, and to kind of reassure without really saying anything that what we were doing was really at the front edge of information. Toward that end, we created a lot of content pieces. Some of it was just kind of getting to know you as the VAC. Some of it was referring other agencies. And as we moved on and we realized that we were not going to, this wasn't ending anytime soon, wasn't going to be able to train a successor for what I was doing, Christy and the staff and I had another conversation and kind of a process of going after this grant that would enable us to really target the communications, the messaging, and the important information to get it to the people who we felt, and by we, I really mean the VAC, and I listened and took notes, were the most important people to reach out. And so for phase two, we shifted away and piled on a lot more content, a lot more strategic approach to cross-referencing other agencies. And it was a really brief conversation where Chrissy said, I would love to be able to point as much information to other agencies as possible. And in fact, 370 out of the over 400 posts that we created referenced other agencies. So they referenced the VA, they referenced American Legions, they referenced the housing, the fair housing, senior services, United Way, anywhere where we could point people in a direction of service that the VAC couldn't necessarily provide, but was aware of to spread the wealth of services. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, moving on. So here's our demographic. I was very excited to watch these numbers climb. I realized the numbers might be a little small, but as you see, the Facebook reach increased 126%. Instagram reach went through the roof at 3.9 thousand, so almost 4,000% increase. And our Facebook likes have been steadily climbing. It's something that I have not really approached as a priority of, hey, like our page, because people are following it. And it really isn't helping us reach more people. We're reaching them anyway. We're reaching about on a regular basis over 50% of the veterans around Will County. Any questions about that? So then the other thing is you can see age and gender, our audience demographics we're really hitting the 35 to 65 audience best. And that's where we want to be. Christy and I, when we were discussing this, and Jen, when we were discussing this later on, and then Amy a little bit towards the end, why are we targeting women over men? Because women will make men do things that they don't necessarily want to do. Women will look for the information that is necessary to solve a problem far earlier than men will do. And this isn't to slam men, it's just, you know, they've done a lot of studies on this. And so we really were targeting women with the message, like, do you love someone who has served? Are you getting all the information that you need? Are you getting all the services that you need? Because we knew that they would take action. And actually, Christy's earlier report has proven that to be true. Do you have any questions about that?
Yeah, Jerry, and I got a quick question here, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
The the agent, the audience demographic, do you see a significant difference in the demographics there by either age or gender on Facebook versus Instagram? Because I admit, being in the technically older crowd, I
Right.
don't Insta, Snap, or any of the above, and my social media is limited to a love-hate relationship with Facebook. So I'm just wondering if you're seeing that reflected. It's nothing terribly important, but it was just something to me, a point of conversation.
Yeah, so typically Instagram is a much lower age range but still heavily female. I have not been able to get the Instagram demographics uncoupled from the Facebook ones because Facebook now owns both. We used to be able to see them separately. They will give us the reach, but not always the demographics. So I would say, although we don't have specifics, the expectation for me, based on historically tracking it, is that it would be at that 35 to 44 skew is definitely more heavily in Instagram, because that number that you see for age and gender is both of them combined.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. So last thing is the financial report. So phase one, the conversation went like this. Hey, can you do this? Well, of course, Christy, we can do this. Shoot me an invoice. And the conversation really was, well, how much money do you have to spend? Because you can't afford me, but I will deep discount it. And if you look at the original invoice, you see that for just doing the Facebook portion of the project, it was considerably higher, but I discounted it down to the financial availability. Phase two, we expanded it to be radio, print, several publications, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, stories, and posts. And so the number climbed up. I also didn't deep discount it like I did the first one. So you'll see the expenses roll out with salaries prorated for the year. By the time the contract was approved, we were in May. Subcontractor, professional services. So those would be graphic designers, other marketing people that I could team up with. Moving on to advertising direct costs, which would be literally what we paid only for, like the radio pieces, only for the placement of ads on paper and placements of ads in Facebook and Instagram, none of the creation, which is really honestly the lion's share of it. And then meetings, office supplies, expenses, a lot of software and supplies were necessary. We had paid separately for video production and editing, which you'll see those videos continue to roll out for as long as Facebook stands. And then some projected expenses for salaries and other expenses in 2022. So I'm an accountant, so I did this on purpose. It's exactly to the dollar amount because that's how I roll. Do you guys have any questions about that? So one of the things that Christy and I have talked about with the staff that we've talked about is, we're going to continue to support the VAC in any way we can. We supported the VAC long before this project started, and my heart is literally the DNA is veterans. My parents are veterans, and so I would fully expect to continue to do this as long as there was a need for COVID support. Any questions?
Yeah, this is a kind of a financial report here. So the question here is a point of order, I guess. I don't know, is this going to be a question for Chris or for Jack? Do we need to have a motion to accept this report?
I would suggest a motion to accept the report.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, I will accept the motion, please. I've got questions in between first.
Yeah, I'm thinking we need to, asking for a motion to accept this report when we just saw it today, I think might be a little premature. I'd like time to read it and then maybe we can make a motion to accept it at the next meeting. Because that's a lot of information.
Chris, can you advise?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't see any reason why, if that's the pleasure of the board.
Yes, there's no question that we have to approve it right now. I'd say discussion till the next meeting would be appropriate, I believe.
May I interject something, with the, what was, whatever that concerned citizen was talking about, would we be a liability to accept the report as presented? Would that factor in anything?
Chris, you can please correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that the report has been presented. We are not accepting or rejecting it. We are simply tabling it for discussion till the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason just to blankly accept it right now. If we got people that got questions, it'd be worth discussing or getting ready for the next meeting to bring it up, than just go one way or the other. I don't see a problem, but as long as it's not stated right now that we have to accept it right now, it could be tabled till the next meeting for discussion and a vote then. I don't know, we need a motion just to table it till the next.
I would suggest a motion to table it.
Okay, I need
Motion
a
to table it, Beneke.
Seconded, Blue.
motion by Steve, seconded by Janet. We need a roll call vote, please.
Working on it, one moment. Okay. Barry,
Yes.
Oak,
Yes.
Milnick,
I,
Blue,
Yes.
Beneke,
Yes,
Williams, yes. Motion carries. Tabled until next meeting of, one moment, February 8th, 2022, 7 a.m.
Very good, acceptable. Marketing campaign, and are we ready? Any more questions or comments right now, or we move on to scratch off grant?
No,
Next
sir,
item.
I would just like to let you know, I need to jump off in about 5 minutes.
Thank you. Okay, I guess Chrissy, you're up with the scratch off grant.
Sure, this goes back to Janet's question regarding funding for the VAC Homeless Veteran Hotel. Under the IDVA Scratch Off Grant, one of the qualifying tiers that you can apply for is for homeless veterans. I can work on writing that grant if you guys would like, if you guys think that would be in the best interest. There's also the Scratch Off Grant is for like post-traumatic stress. All of the information's online and I can send it to you. But, you know, off the top of my head, an immediate need could be for the emergency shelter for homeless veterans. The grant is up to $100,000. So with our current hotel, that would be anywhere from 3 to 5 months. The funding could last if we were to apply and receive the full $100,000. We have received this grant in the past in 2014 and 15. We utilized it back then for dental care. We applied for it one more time and were denied for hyperbaric oxygen treatment therapy. But then there wasn't enough data for that go around, but we definitely have the data for the homeless veterans if you guys think that would be a good option.
It's all tied together with PTSD and homelessness and everything else. I think it'd be a good fit. We should attempt at least. See what we can do.
Okay, I'll start working on that. The next thing on your agenda is the post notifications. I did send out the post notifications on December 23rd. Per state statute, each post has 60 days to respond. Currently, we have received Romeoville, Steve Daly's response, and that is it. So if each of you could go back to your respective posts or to your district meetings. And this should be the first month where you have a meeting, a post meeting that comes up where you elect somebody to be your delegate and alternate. Just please make sure that form gets back to the VAC office. I put on the notification, you can email, fax, or mail it and provided all of the information.
Yeah, my post commander got it yesterday in Lockport, and he was under the impression that I was the representative and they didn't have to do anything, but I did tell him to fill out volunteer somebody to accept the position. So yeah, we need more participation between the same posts, regions, PFWs that we have now. People got to get in. We got to get them involved somehow.
And
Once a month won't kill somebody.
right. If when going to your post meetings, they ask about the question on the form that says, how many paid members do you have? Per the state statute, to be on our executive, in our bylaws, to be on our executive board, you need to have a minimum of 15 paid members. So that's why I asked that question.
Okay.
Also, per our bylaws, this year we sent it out to organizations beyond our traditional post reach. That includes motorcycle clubs, the auxiliary departments that have membership dues, and any other type of veterans organization that falls within our bylaws.
Christy, if you would like some help to chase that up, I'm happy to make some calls for you.
Perfect. I love volunteers.
Yeah, it's going to be very important to get the auxiliaries and so forth involved, which we got to admit they do a lot of work for the posts. And there's got to be plenty of good volunteers that would be willing to help out. So all we can do is ask.
Yep.
Okay, any more new business comments on what we went through? If not, we'll go to old business.
I was hoping we would have our award letter back from DCEO by this time, but our Springfield, I don't know if you guys were tracking this, Sangamon County and Springfield, they had a COVID outbreak and a lot of people were sent home to work, to include our grant manager. So I have not received the award letter back yet, but I did reach out and request it and they're still waiting on it. But it was accepted. It's at the last step of going through their legal department to send back to us. But it made it through all the other tiers. So that's good news.
Any more old business? If not, next item is for the good of the commission or public comments, please.
I have one. At the last meeting, member Blue, I think she just jumped off, but she asked me to reach out to Senator Duckworth's office regarding the deportation of veterans. I did reach out to them and request any new updates or reports or numbers that they could provide us, but I have not received anything back yet. However, I think that is also due to them not being in office. It was over the Christmas holiday and again, COVID.
Okay, I have one item, January 13th or Thursday would be the unaccompanied Veterans Honor at Abraham Lincoln. We'll be honoring 77 veterans who were interred part of 2021 and so forth up till now. We're still playing catch up. The memorial squad is back on hold. So it'll be
Jack, what was the date and time of that again?
this Thursday, January 13th, 9 a.m., Middle Shelter C. It's sponsored or hosted this year by the DAR, Louis Joliet chapter. The VAC did it in October. So we have to have a sponsor now to allow enough people to get on site. So DAR is the official sponsor, but everything is still being handled by Abraham Lincoln Memorial Squad. So Anybody else got anything going on at their post or Legion or they want to bring up?
I know our veteran build is kind of on hold right now due to weather for the Romeoville Post and Will County. Wow, having a brain cramp here. Habitat for Humanity. We're still homeless. We thought we had a little plan going with Will County Senior Services, but I don't think we can work over some hurdles that they that for a location and stuff. So, but other than that, Romeoville's still kicking.
Plainfield Queen of Hearts is what, up to 53,200? I think it was 53,200. Anybody's interested? That's tomorrow night at beginning at 6:30 member meeting. And you could stop during the post anytime after 12 o'clock and buy tickets if you'd like.
One more thing to report at your meetings, if they're this week or next week, Orland Park Vet Center has transitioned to all remote telehealth appointments again. And sections of the VA are currently working from home for the next 2 weeks. Section departments of the VA.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. If nothing else, then I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Beneke, second.
Second, Steve. Need a vote.
Yes.
Denise again.
Yep, working on it.
Hi.
Barry,
Yes.
Coke,
Muted.
Amanda, stick your thumb up. Milnick,
Aye.
Blue. Oh, she had to leave the meeting. Beneke,
Yes.
Milnick, and Williams, yes, carries.
Okay, our next scheduled meeting is February 8th, 7 a.m. Zoom. Thank you all again for showing up.
All right, sorry, I missed the vote. We're trying to get out to the bus stop.
Okay,
Have a good morning, everyone.
good morning.
Okay.
Bye, guys.